2014, right down the block. And Bill had a beehive because we had, actually it was our daughter Maddie's community experience project for her senior year of high school in Boulder. And she built a beehive, and she and Bill figured out how to actually put bees into the hive, and it was this really awesome project. So we brought the hive with us and started a beehive, and found out that it was not allowed to have bees in Lafayette, which opened up this really beautiful thing. What started out as a conflict and a question as to why can't you have honeybees really turned into the whole honeybee community. All the beekeepers in Lafayette and in Boulder County came out, and basically they had meetings with the city council and basically educated. It was a great forum, and the policy got changed to where you now can have bees. And Bill had a lot of help. He started out as a one-man show, but it quickly, when word got around, it all of a sudden that the whole beekeeping community came out, which was just an amazing thing to see that many people come in support to want to really educate.
Yeah.
And city council listened, and it was a great process of how democracy works. If you get the right information and you have understanding and you can create acceptance, and so there was just a lot of fear out there. And quite honestly, I just think that a lot of people didn't even think about having bees as something that was valuable or necessary. And so now there are bees. So when we decided to open the coffee shop as a tribute to the bees, in honor of the bees, we created our honey latte, which is now our signature drink. So we try to use local honey.
That's great.
As much as possible. And sometimes we have to get larger jugs of it when it's not really harvest time. But we've started working with some of the local beekeepers and getting their small batch honey, which stays exclusively for our espresso lattes. So that's how that came about.
Yay, Leslie. We had different theories.
Dan was like, I thought it was because you get buzzed on coffee.
I was like, but that's
and then it's in our logo.
Yeah.
I would say in the almost 2.5 years that we've had the coffee shop, it's really, we've been able to define our roles. And mine is operational. I mean, I'm here, meeting people and making sure people are happy, and that's what I really love to do. And Bill designs and builds the things that we decide to add on. And so certainly the hive that we're sitting in, he came up with all the pieces that needed to go in here to make it the community room, the events room that we wanted it to be. But the whole purpose of East Simpson Coffee Company was that we wanted to create a gathering place. And we bought our house because of this street. We lived 1 block away. And we bought our house because we saw this street and we went, this is an amazing street. What's up with this street? Being the original downtown of Lafayette, which is 125 years old, it's like, wow, what is going on here currently, and what was this before? So there was, I don't know why, but I've always been drawn to this street. I didn't know I was going to open a coffee shop, but when we decided to do it 2 years after we moved here, it really had to have the intention of a community gathering place. And we weren't really sure what that was going to turn into. People have done events in here, and we've done a nice job, so don't get me wrong, I definitely take credit for creating an ambiance, but I really feel energetically people feel something about this space. Because people will go out of their way to tell us, this is a fantastic space, we just felt so good in it, and so we definitely got the ball rolling, and I just think, the stars aligned with the feeling of the space and the acceptance of what's being put in it.
Yeah, definitely. It keeps growing.
Yeah.
And you guys are busy.
Yeah, we're really busy. We're coming up on 2.5 years. June will be 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And we definitely have seen the tipping point for some of our, morning business. I mean, the goal is, we have to be sustainable for at least 5 years to really make it. And I keep looking forward, and I don't look back, because a lot of people thought we were crazy to just jump into starting our coffee shop, and I just felt led to do it. I know that sounds so cliche-ish, but it's true. I just really felt led to do it, and I had no idea what the rewards were going to be until now. I mean, I'm very grateful that people get what we're doing.
Definitely.
Mhm.
I feel like it. There's
Yeah.
happy people out there.
Yeah.
You've done a great job.
You know, people are finding out about the space, and there's a real need to have places where people can get together and have wonderful events that bring community together and speak to causes that we all seem to be developing, especially in this day and age. But and so, I mean, the first thing I thought was this is right up our alley, because the Hive space is a continuation of the cafe, and they can be completely separate, or they can also meld together. And the fun part of this part of our business is that finding out all the projects out in the community, like what residents and neighbors want to be involved in. And so to have something like the Woody Guthrie Tribute, where we get beautiful music and fabulous musicians and, you know, nonprofit organizations coming and speaking about, you know, what they stand for in the community and how they need the community's involvement, is just a perfect fit for what we want this space to be for people and how we want to be known. You know, we are definitely a coffee shop and a cafe and a gathering place, but we also want to be, you know, an important piece of our community and go beyond that. And so it kind of speaks to what Bill and I both feel. We want to have involvement, and sometimes it's hard to get away and actually go and be part of something. And it's fantastic that we have the ability to have people come to us, and then we get to partake in things that we wouldn't have the time to do. So it's definitely a win-win.
Yeah.
So the ability to be able to offer up the space to groups that, you know, we donate the space to for a bigger cause, or to be able to, you know, work within someone's budget to, you know, to make the space available for a drawing class or for a women's circle or for, you know, a Spanish class once a week. You know, those are fun things too. And then also to be able to speak to the business community who needs off-site space, you know, to hold a 3 or 4 hour workshop or have a, you know, a meetup. It's such a beautiful blend of needs in the community. So that part's really turning into a fun part, and I'm starting to dedicate more of my time to making sure that everything is right for people who call and inquire and decide to, you know, to book with us, because it's so. The Woody Guthrie Tribute is one of those lovely, delicious, you know, creative evenings or days for us to be able to have that great community time. I don't know. As long as you're not planning a murder or a hate crime, we will entertain the idea of making our space available for your function.
I love it.
You know what I mean? Because
What about a waterboarding? You're just a good old-fashioned nail pulling.
no torture, murder, or hate crimes, please.
Oh my God. that's
Other
awesome.
than that, come and use the space, and, you know, you're a part of the community, and everybody has, you know, similar views and different views, and we want to be inclusive